experience self-doubt? I'm Tina B, a speaking and storytelling consultant and coach, and I protect audiences from boring speakers and speeches. And this is a question I feel so many leaders and speakers experience, which is self-doubt. Recently, I had a session with one of my clients, a leader who is at a high level in an organization and has this beautiful vision for where she wants the organization to go, and was struggling with how she was communicating this vision, this mission to her team. In fact, noted that her facial expressions and her actual content of her message were not in alignment. She was showing on her face the stress of the team just not buying this idea of change and uncertainty and moving forward. But internally, she really had that heart-centered passion focus for what's next. And we discussed what kind of things were you saying that did not work so well. And one of the sentences she said was, if I get my vision right. Now think about that sentence for just a moment. I said just in one sentence, she hit a huge end of the spectrum when it comes to ego. The first part, which is if, that is self-doubt. And the latter part where she said my, and if I get this right, my and right, that's more arrogance and bravado. So two ends of the spectrum, where really where she wants to be is centered in her confidence. And we talked about using more inclusive language, specifically saying when we reach our mission, when, it's saying not if, but when. That's a huge piece of taking out that self-doubt. Then also bringing in the our is bringing the team in to the vision, saying this is what we're doing together as a team, not just me, but us as the whole. So how can you lessen your self-doubt as the communicator that you are to be more magnetic in whatever situation that may be, whether it is at a meeting with your team or addressing an audience on stage? The first is you need to acknowledge, be aware that you're experiencing, you're feeling that self-doubt. Just get curious and ask yourself, what is it I am doubting? Why am I doubting? And she started to understand that when she was getting the nonverbal, this client, the nonverbal communication back from her team, but even one individual said, I'm just not feeling that we're on the same page. She started to get curious of, oh, I need to match what I say with how I say it. So first, be aware. Second, prior to speaking, maybe distract yourself and get into a healthier space or mood by reading something inspirational, listening to music that makes you feel good, or just exercising. Any of those things can take your mind out of the self-doubt and put you into a present moment that's more positive in feeling. In addition to distracting yourself with something positive, you can also, third, surround yourself with positive people. Engage in a great conversation prior to this communication. That to me can help sometimes, where it sets the intention and the energy to up-level your future conversation. Fourth, in addition to being aware, distracting yourself with positive action, as well as talking to someone positively, is celebrating your wins, saying, wow, I did something great, this went well. That keeps you at a higher frequency. And then finally, set your intention for that conversation to go well. The amount of time that you give yourself spaciousness and transition from one task to the other, because when you have those crucial conversations, you don't just want to dive in, but you want to think about it. So breathe and decide how you want this conversation to go, because then you will find that you'll have a better connection. So envision how you want it to go prior to that communication. For more tips and tools, subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Magnetic Speaking with Tina B. That's Magnetic Speaking with Tina B. And this has been some tips with Tina B. Till next time.